The Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation has wrapped a Palestinian scarf around a life-size statue of the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu this morning at the Buitenkant Street in Cape Town. The foundation says the scarf will be displayed until the bombing in Gaza comes to an end. The statue will be on display on the balcony of the Old Granary building during office hours. SABC News reporter Corbin is now joining us live. Corbin, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Tell us about what influenced this decision that has been taken by the foundation.
Yes, well, indeed. Good morning to you and to the viewers, Aldrin. Well, we are crossing to you from just here on the balcony here at the Old Granary building. Right behind me, you can see the life-size statue of the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and it's been wrapped in a Palestinian scarf. Now, the two foundations that bear the Arch's legacy, the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation and the Desmond Tutu Intellectual Property Trust, they have come together and they have made the decision to wrap the scarf around the arch as a symbol of the arch's dedication and commitment to the Palestinian struggle. Of course, throughout his lifetime, the arch was a very vocal critic of Israel and its policies towards the Palestinians and the Palestinian people, and he was always outspoken against the discrimination that he saw around Israel and Palestine and around the conflict that's going on between the two countries. Now we are joined by the CEO of the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation, Janet Jobson, to talk to us more about why they feel that this was needed, just to show why they decided to wrap the scarf around the arch. Janet, thank you so much for talking to us.
Good morning.
So let's perhaps just start with this that we're seeing right in front of us now, the arch with the Palestinian scarf. Just what motivated this decision?
Yeah, we've really been trying to find a way that we can express the kind of solidarity the arch had for the Palestinian struggle, and particularly in this time of crisis in Gaza, how can we keep his legacy alive and make sure that his clarity of purpose around our shared humanity is made visible and is loudly fought for. So we felt that having this commitment to bring out his statue every day until the bombing stops, to drape it in a Palestinian flag, really is an opportunity just to show solidarity with the people of Palestine, with the people of Gaza, as we try to get to a point where we eventually have, hopefully, a ceasefire. We will bring out the arch every day until the bombing stops. That's our commitment to showing some solidarity with the people of Palestine.
Okay, wonderful. Maybe just talk to us about this actual scarf. We understand it also has a specific meaning here.
Yes, so we chose the scarf specifically today. It's got the patterns of a Palestinian scarf, but the colors of the African continent. And it was designed in Palestine as a representation of solidarity between Africa and Palestine. It's dubbed the Mandela scarf, which we think is also very apt. The friendship between the arch and Mandela, the clarity they both had about the issue of Palestine. This scarf in particular is actually made in a factory in Gaza. One of the few factories left standing, and we really feel deeply in our hearts a connection to the people of Gaza every time we come forward and we wrap the statue in this scarf.
Janet, just with regards to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine and Hamas, just you say that the statue will be until the bombing stops. Now there is a court case that's being heard at the International Court of Justice. It's underway at the moment. Just your thoughts on South Africa's case and taking the State of Israel to court at the International Court of Justice?
Yeah, I think the Arch would be incredibly proud of South Africa for taking a stand in support of human rights and international humanitarian law. I think the case we presented yesterday was incredibly strong, and it was devastating, absolutely devastating, detailing the suffering of the people of Gaza, and particularly hearing the genocidal intent that has been shared by officials in the Israeli government. We deeply, deeply mourn the loss of life of Israelis on the 7th of October. We've been deeply in solidarity with families whose family members are still hostages. But nothing justifies genocide. Nothing justifies the bombing that we've seen and what Israel is subjecting the people of Gaza to. And I think the Arch would have taken an incredibly strong stance on that we have to stop the bombing. We have to stop it as soon as possible, and we have to ensure that the people of Gaza have access to humanitarian aid, have access to water, to electricity, to food, and that we protect the most vulnerable in our society. That's what our duty is as human beings, and that's why we have to be in solidarity with each other around the world.
Okay. Then Janet, when looking at the Israeli side and their views on the conflict, we've seen statements issued, and one of the statements that was issued was from the South African Jewish Board of Deputies. And what they've characterized the case as is they're saying that it's anti-Semitic towards Jews. And they're also saying that perhaps South Africa, what they're seeing now is double standards, because South Africa failed to condemn Russia in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. They also failed to take a stand when various political leaders who were supposed to be maybe taking action against nothing happened. So but do you have a response to that?
Sure, I think it is important that we call out government for double standards where it's happening, and we've been very outspoken about Russia's invasion of Ukraine and stood very, very firmly against that and called on the South African government to take a much firmer stance. But being on the right side of one issue and the wrong side of the other doesn't make this issue wrong for South Africa to be taking this stance. I understand the deep, deep pain that Jewish communities feel, and particularly the traumatic intergenerational memory of the Holocaust, but nothing justifies genocide. And that is the stance we really have to take, that we must protect the human rights and the human lives of people in Gaza and Palestine, that we must seek peace, and there is no route to peace through violence. There is absolutely no route to peace through violence. The Arch very famously said, if you want to make peace, you speak to your enemies, not your friends. And we really are calling for everyone to come around the table, to be in dialogue with each other, to try and find a way to move forward as a collective humanity, to ensure that we end the occupation, that Palestine does become free, but that we also respect and stand up for the rights of all human beings, including Jewish people. We really, really think it's important that we stand against anti-Semitism, just as we stand against the violation of rights in Gaza.
Wonderful. Janet Jobson, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Well, that was Janet Jobson, the CEO of the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation, just giving us a bit of insight as to what motivated their decision to drape a Palestinian scarf around this statue over here of the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. Of course, the foundation saying that the Arch always stood for the values of humanity, and also always was a very vocal critic of the policies of the Israeli government towards Palestinians and the oppression of the Palestinian people. They're saying that this statue over here will be on display with the Palestinian scarf around the arch throughout the course of the day, every day, so that people can come by and they can see that this message of support for Gaza and the Palestinian people, as well as for the case that's being heard, South Africa's case against Israel at the International Court of Justice currently underway. With that, back to you in studio, Aldrin.